Social media is causing so many problems for you, and that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But right now, as a task, I want you to check your screen time specifically on Instagram, Snapchat and TikTok, and I'll check it right now as well. So I know that my screen time for Instagram is about 25 minutes, which is a bit higher than I want it, and I can tell you right now, not all of those 25 minutes per day is spent actually socializing. Snapchat is around 5 minutes, so you know I only use that when I've been sent a message or whatever, very, very rarely. And the other one is TikTok, which I don't own, so that's 0. So overall, I'm spending about 30 minutes a day on social media, which is, as I say, it's a bit higher than what I want, but it's going to be lower than most of you watching. And in this video, we're going to be talking about why you should be using these less, and the ways you can start using these less, and even in some cases, which apps you should be deleting. Before we get into this, I have an announcement to make. I am near the end of writing my second ebook, which is called Discomfort and the Art of Discipline. It's going to be a short ebook, just like the other one, Acquire Languages. And as you know, Acquire Languages is up for sale right now on Amazon. However, these two are going to be sold together. And they're going to be sold not for £10, not for £5, not for £2. They're going to be sold for completely free. That's right, completely free. Aren't you guys lucky? I'll be constantly putting out updates about this new book, maybe the odd page, teasers here and there on my story. You can follow my Instagram in the description. However, when these come out, the way you'll be able to download them is by signing up to an email list, which is all planned for the future. So as I say, updates will come out more and more about this, and when it is announced, it will be in the description for YouTube videos when it actually happens. Anyway, back to the video. The first point is I'd say most of your social media use is a complete waste of your time. The amount of people I hear at university saying that they don't have enough time in the day, they struggle with procrastination, you know, they start doing their coursework really late. Most of that is probably directed to the idea that they're spending way too much time wasting their time on social media. And of course, in overall life, there's some people who genuinely don't have enough time. You can't just assume that someone does have enough time, or events might have happened for someone at university. But in most cases, it is people procrastinating through an overuse of TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever. This isn't only the social media as well. This could be spending too much time on Netflix and stuff like this. You can easily spend too much time on these things because of constant dopamine hits. I mean, every scroll on TikTok, every scroll on Instagram Reels is dopamine hit after dopamine hit, and it's so easy to have. In fact, if you actively review your day, or even the days in this week, if you actively review it and look back on how much you've used these apps, when have you used these apps, in what sort of situations, you'll find that you usually go on these apps when things are a bit difficult. When you say to yourself, right, I'm going to get some work done today, I'm going to get some coursework done today. Those are usually the days you spend more time on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, because it's so comfortable. Stephen Bartlett said this on a podcast in Modern Wisdom. He said that when he was writing his book in a different country, which I can't quite remember, he said that whenever he got to a difficult part of the book, he would then go on social media and start scrolling. And I think that just shows that we obviously have a desire for comfort. Obviously we do. But you'll find that usually the days you want to be more productive are, funnily enough, the days that you get the urges to be even more unproductive. And especially for people of similar age of me, maybe in school, and especially university, and even later life after university, you become a lot more independent. And time management and procrastination are very, very important things to manage. For most people, it's their first time really experiencing self-control, self-discipline. You know, they're not being told to do things anymore. They have to rely on their self. And by being aware of your social media usage and even deleting a certain app, which I'm going to say in a minute, you can really, really help your time management and help achieve the days that you've planned the night before. And I'm going to say right now, the app that you should be deleting is TikTok. There's no benefit to it. There's really no benefit to it. Okay, you might not be able to keep up with some sort of trend here and there. You might not be within an inside joke with some of your mates. But do you really care at the end of the day? Like in a couple of years' time, a couple of months' time, a couple of weeks' time, with how fast social media moves, nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to care. TikTok has no social benefits to it either. The only way I would imagine that's a productive way to use TikTok is if you're trying to expand your audience. If you're someone like me, a YouTuber, hoping to be podcaster, and you use TikTok to expand your audience, or even a business owner, if you're using it to expand your audience. If you're a creator on TikTok for a productive reason, I can understand why. If you're just someone who's scrolling on there, get rid of it. Get rid of it, because there's no point having it, and it's just wasting your time. The second point is constant comparison. In a world where you're seeing the best of people in their achievements, their experiences, And what you should really be doing is just focusing on yourself. You go on Instagram and you see your mates in a beautiful country because they're taking a gap year, and then you look around somewhere else and you see your other mate has got a brand new dog and it's really cute and whatever. And then you scroll down even more and you see a fitness influencer. You think, wow, he's massive, he's huge, I want to look like that. And then you look in the mirror after some really, really good months of progress in the gym and you think to yourself that you're not good enough. It's such a bad mindset. As a side note on that quick, with fitness, if you are into fitness, to try and avoid this mentality when looking at social media, take progress pictures, and then that's the things you should be focused on rather than comparing yourself to these people who have trained for many, many years. And some of them, not all of them, is a controversial topic, but some of them are certainly on steroids or PEDs or whatever. So 100%, if you're getting into fitness, or even if you start taking progress pictures every month or so, and it will massively help with your motivation, especially after you see years and years of progress. Well, it's great. When you see these people online doing something so amazingly that you're trying to do, especially when you're a beginner in it, a couple of months into it, and you look and you think, how am I meant to do that? A great mindset is to be inspired by it, but when you see it so much, it can be very easy to be disheartened by it, and you see that you're nowhere near the level of these people. Once again, it's just focusing on yourself. Where can you improve? 100% take advice, take inspiration from these people online, but don't spend your time comparing yourself all the time to them. The most important person to compare yourself to is yourself. Lastly, social media is ironically making us less social. I heard that from a podcast somewhere, I don't know where. I listen to a lot of podcasts. If you go on the London Underground, for example, everyone's on their phone, probably on social media, and no one's actually talking to each other. If you go on a local bus, everybody's on their phone, probably on social media, nobody's actually talking to each other, unless they're already mates with the person there. And most people, when you look around, especially when you're in a bit of an awkward situation, everyone's waiting for something, people are on their phones. People are connecting with people that they already know. They're, yes, discovering new people online, but they're not discovering new people in real life. Isn't it funny that social media, which has connected the whole world and has allowed you to keep in contact with every single person that you've ever met, or at least exchanged social medias with, has now stopped us or highly constrains our ability to meet new people in real life. And I'm not saying that you should speak to every single person you see, but certainly something I notice is one of my worst abilities, and probably for most of the people within my generation that is the same, is that our social skills are nowhere the level that they should be. And I truly think it's down to social media. There's certainly some people in the world who are just naturally good socially, and this doesn't necessarily apply to them. But for people like me and for other people, social skills aren't a big strong point for us. It's just the case. And there's certainly been a lack of practice within our generation because of social media. It's such a funny dynamic. It's such an ironic dynamic that social media has genuinely decreased our social skills on the whole within real life, but made us connect and speak to so many more people worldwide. I mean, there's some websites online where you can just go on and speak to strangers from any part of the globe. You can go on gaming and, you know, play against people from all parts of the world as well. It's an incredible thing that has diminished our real life ability. To conclude, social media has so many benefits. It has so many benefits. You'd be blind to not see the benefits. It seems to me people stay in contact with their schoolmates more. People stay in contact with people they've met before. It's just a much more connected world within the bubble that you've already interacted with. But when it comes to the reels and the entertainment side of social media, there is no doubt that you are spending way too much time on it. And that's something that needs to be changed. And when it comes to the comparison stuff and even the social skills, it's possibly also having an effect on your mental health as well. Delete TikTok. Delete TikTok. It needs to go. It really needs to go. And you will see that you have so much more free time opened up when you do so. But I can see why, and also I do as well, keep Snapchat and Instagram, and that's for social reasons. As I say, I still spend a little bit too much time on Instagram, not all of my 25 minutes average on Instagram is for social reasons. There's definitely some time where I'm spending too much time on Reels, and that's taking a good 15 minutes away from my day, which doesn't seem much, but it adds up. When it comes to these apps, Snapchat and Instagram, just be aware of your usage. When are you picking it up? Are you picking it up completely naturally? You're just going on your phone straight away on Instagram? Try to avoid it from impacting the goals you've set for the day and also your productivity for the day. If it is affecting your time management and you've got to the end of the day and you reflect why you didn't do the things you wanted to do and you realise it's because you spent 2 hours on TikTok or 2 hours on Instagram Reels, then this is obviously an issue that you need to address with yourself and consciously make decisions to stop yourself from wasting time in the future. So yeah, there's my viewpoint on social media. Some may see it as extreme, especially when it comes to deleting TikTok, but I seriously think that's the way, and especially if you want to make a change with your life. If you're into self-improvement, languages, sport, martial arts or jiu-jitsu, whatever, you know, I'm interested in all of these things, especially the idea of self-improvement. How can we keep improving? So if you're interested in that, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Is highly appreciated. You know, we're trying to build a really good community here, and I'll see you guys next week for the next video. See ya.